Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Katie. Today's video is going to be a thrift flip video, one of my favorite things to do, and it's also a collab with Fia Garcia DIY. Now, if you guys haven't checked out her channel before, you've got to head over there as soon as you're done watching my video because she does so many amazing thrift flips on her channel as well as IKEA hacks. She's just really creative and innovative. She always seems to see things in such a different way than I would ever think of, and she's really good at upcycling things, and I just love watching her channel. So for this week's video, we both mailed each other a few items that we found at the thrift store to challenge each other to see how we can flip these items. So she has sent me 5 items to work with. I've laid them out here. I'm going to show them each to you ahead of time so you can see what the before looks like. I was really excited when I saw this. I thought it was super unique. So it's this little pack of domino tiles. So they're just little black and white domino tiles in this little container. I really want to be creative with these and think of something totally out of the box so that you wouldn't even know that these are dominoes when I'm done with it. She also sent me this tray which has a Christmas theme going on here, but it is like a really nice sized wood tray, so I'm excited to see what I can come up with and what I can kind of use this for. Okay, this one is funny because I've actually picked up a couple of these at the thrift store in the past. Like a couple of years ago, I got 2 of these and made something with it, so I can link that video down below, but it's just funny because I guess you find these at the thrift store quite often. I think they are Christmas card holders. Someone commented that on my last video because I was like, what is this thing? But anyway, I have another idea for using this, so I'm kind of excited that she sent it to me. Okay, so now that you see what items I have to work with, I've got a lot of thinking to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these projects. So the first thing I wanted to tackle was this metal ring card holder thing. I like the gold, but for this project, I want to paint it to provide some contrast. So I went in with this flat black spray paint, which I use all the time. I love it because it provides really great coverage and it dries fast. So I took it outside and gave it a couple of coats. Now that it's painted, it's looking so much better. And my idea for this as soon as I saw it was to turn it into a mirror. I had a craft mirror that I just added some hot glue to the back and then centered it on the ring. I pressed it down and held it until the glue was dry. You could also use super glue if you want a stronger hold. To hang this up, I grabbed a gold chain and 2 gold jump rings to attach the chain to the ring. I opened up the jump rings and hooked them around one of the circles, then added the chain to the jump ring, closed it up, and we're good to go. I think this is such a pretty decorative mirror, and it was really simple to create this look, so I'd call it a success. Next up, I chose the dominoes, and my initial thought was that they might be able to work for a planter. So I had this small plastic planter pot that seemed like it would be a good base for this project. Next, I grabbed the dominoes and started gluing them to the planter one by one. They were the perfect fit for the planter, which was a nice surprise, and stacking them, I was able to add 3 to each side of the pot. Once they'd all been added, it was looking interesting, but I wanted to keep going to see how this would turn out. I chose paints for this one, and I used sort of a beige paint as the first coat and then the stone textured paint on top. I really wanted to create a stone look for this planter, so I was hoping that this combination would work out. After painting it, I realized you could see a lot of gaps where I had glued things together, so I decided to go in with some joint compound to cover these up. I just used my finger to fill in each of these spaces all along the sides and in between the dominoes as well. It looked a lot better and more finished after this step, so once it was dry, I went in with another round of paint to complete it. This is definitely a unique piece, not something I would normally create, but this was a good challenge to use the dominoes in an interesting way. Okay, last up is the tray, and the first task was to try to remove the image on it, which was just paper with a film on top. I started to rip it away, but quickly realized that the paper was on there really well and mostly just the plastic film was coming up. For the purposes of this project, I didn't think it would be a problem to have the paper on the tray, so I just got off as much as I could and moved on to the next step. I picked up a paint sample of this basic gray color and started to cover up the red. I like doing this when I only need a small amount of paint because you can get these samples for just about $5. I gave it one good coat, and because this red color is so bright, I knew that I would need to let it dry and then go in with a second coat. The second coat covered it fully, so that was perfect. Once it was dry, I measured the tray because I'm going to be adding tile, and I wanted to know how much I would need to add. I picked up this sheet of tiles from Home Depot and measured out the correct amount. Then I used my X-Acto knife to cut away the tiles that won't fit. I ended up having almost enough tiles to fill the entire tray, but there were some gaps on the sides and tops that I had to fill in. I got a grout and tile adhesive combo and started out by adding some to the bottom of the tray. I followed the directions on the container, which said to smooth it out and then create ridges using a metal trowel. Once that was done, I laid the tiles on top and pushed them down into the tray. I let this cure and then went in with more grout for the top to fill in all the gaps. I used a grout float to cover the tiles and smooth out the grout, leaving no spaces in between. Lastly, I had to fill in these gaps, and this was definitely the hardest part. I ended up using my finger to add the grout and was making quite a mess, so I had to go in later and clean all of that up. I also scratched off some of the paint, so I did touch that up when I was finished. The last step was to use a wet sponge to clean off the excess grout, then let it dry and buff the tiles at the end to finish cleaning them if needed. This was my first time doing a project like this, and all things considered, I think it came out really cute. Definitely a big improvement and more my style from the bright red Christmas tray. Okay, what do you guys think? How did I do? Let me know in the comments down below which one of these thrift flips was your favorite, and head over to Fia's channel now to check out what she came up with, to see what I sent her and what her thrift flips are. I honestly can't wait to see myself because she is so creative and I just want to know what she came up with the things that I picked out for her. So I'm gonna go do that. As always, make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's just my name, @KatieBookser, and you'll get sneak peeks of upcoming videos. You'll get to vote on future video themes and see DIY reels that I post there that aren't even on YouTube. So it's just a lot of fun. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.